He's only 15 years old, but he has already made his debut with Arsenal's first team, controls the ball like he's 30, and is embarrassing players 5 years older than him. His name is Max Dowman, and if you don't know him yet, buckle up. This kid might be England's version of Lamine Yamal. But be careful, we're not talking about empty hype. We're talking about a footballer who, if he keeps progressing like this, could change everything about Arsenal's future. Max Dowman doesn't come with noise, but he comes with respect. Because in one of the most demanding academies in the world, you don't get to train with the first team at 15 by accident. Dowman was born on December 31st, 2009. Yes, when you were still watching the South Africa World Cup, he was just arriving in this world. And today, with barely a decade and a half of life, he's already being talked about by everyone following Arsenal's academy closely. What's most impressive isn't just his age, it's how he plays. Since he was 12 or 13, Max already showed a deep understanding of the game that's rare for his age. At 14, he was already playing with the under-18s. By 15, he was facing opponents up to 20 years old. And the most amazing thing, he didn't just compete, he dominated. The ball sticks to his foot like it's glued there. He plays as a midfielder, but he can appear across the entire attacking front. He has technique, vision, composure, and what's rarest at his age, timing. He knows when to accelerate, when to release the ball, when to pause. These aren't things you can teach. You feel them, and Max feels them deep inside. The coaches saw it, the opponents saw it, and Mikel Arteta saw it too, including him in first-team pre-season sessions. Not because they need him now, but because they know if he's guided properly, he could define an era. When we say Max Dowman is playing above his category, it's not a figure of speech. It's literal. At just 15, Max has already competed against players aged 18, 19, even 20. And we're not talking about a few minutes off the bench. We're talking starts, impact, leadership on the pitch. In a game where physicality sets the tone, Max has adapted not only with intelligence, but with personality. Yes, he has the body, already over 6 feet, but he doesn't just play with his body. He plays with his mind. And in contexts where pressure, pace, and intensity make many young talents disappear, Max shows up always. He's the kind of player who doesn't shrink. When the opponent is stronger, he plays faster. When they close him down, he spins. When they surround him, he finds the pass. And when the match turns ugly, he's the one asking for the ball. Even at 15, we've seen him go up against defenders already training with pro squads and leave them on the floor with a single move. The craziest part? He does it without flair. No pointless tricks. No highlight chasing. Max plays to win, not to show off. And that, in someone this young, is pure gold. Many focus on his physique. Tall, strong, fast. And yes, it helps. At his age, being over 6 feet is a clear advantage. But what truly sets Max Dowman apart is how he thinks the game, his vision, his ability to make the right decisions at the right moment. At 13 or 14, it was all so easy for him that, like many gifted youngsters, he sometimes overdid it. He'd dribble too much, always looking for one more move because he could. But in the past few months, something changed. Max didn't just grow physically, he matured. Now, he knows when to stop, when to pass, and most of all, how to read the game. He has perfect body orientation, a feel for passing that's reminiscent of elite midfielders, and spatial awareness that puts him exactly where the opponent doesn't expect. An example, with one touch, he can break 2 lines with a pass between the centre-backs. And if you press him, he doesn't panic. He spins and keeps going, like he's playing in slow motion. And that's what drives coaches crazy. He doesn't just play well, he plays smart. He plays simple. And if at 15 he's already mastering those concepts, can you imagine him at 20? At Arsenal, nothing is left to chance. What's happening with Max Dowman is no coincidence. And it's not just a technical whim, it's part of a roadmap, a project. Premier League rules say players can't feature in official matches until they turn 16. For Max, that milestone comes in December, but the club is already working. fast, because they know they have something rare on their hands. Max has already trained several times with the first team. Not as a reward, not for a photo. He trains because his football demands it, because he needs to be surrounded by the best, to compete at the highest pace, to absorb every detail of the professional environment. In Arteta's sessions, he looks loose, confident, unfazed. He doesn't hide. He asks for the ball. He connects. And most importantly, he listens. He learns. That's what impressed the coaching staff. He's not just talented. He has the mindset of a pro. From inside the club, sources say he already has a squad number assigned. They're even quietly working on his first pro contract to protect him before Europe's big clubs come knocking. Because yes, scouts are already watching. They've seen him dominate in the under-18s against players 4 or 5 years older, and they all agree this kid is the real deal. Arsenal's idea is clear. Integrate him gradually, make him feel part of the group, and if he responds well, debut him with the first team in the second half of the season. There's no rush, but there's a plan, and that makes all the difference. When a talent explodes this young, one question always lingers. Are they moving too fast? It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, in headlines, in comparisons. He's the next Bellingham, some say. He's the English Lamine Yamal, others claim. But behind the hype, there's a 15-year-old kid, a teenager, a boy still developing physically, emotionally, mentally. The real danger isn't that he fails. It's that they push him so hard, so early, that he burns out before he blossoms. He wouldn't be the first. Football is full of prodigies who, without strong support systems, faded into obscurity. And that's exactly what Arsenal wants to avoid. Thankfully, Mikel Arteta gets it. He already handled Bukayo Saka's rise with great care. He's currently managing Ethan Nwaneri with caution and precision. And now it's Max's turn. It's not just about talent. It's about timing. Knowing when to let go and when to hold back. When to expose and when to shield. Because it's not the same to shine in pre-season as to sustain a level in the Premier League, where every mistake is punished and every match is a war of tactics, physique, and mentality. The environment matters too. Media, agents, social media, it all adds pressure. That's why Max needs a solid family, a team that protects him, and a club that's thinking long-term. Not about going viral tomorrow, but about building a career over the next 10 years. And so far, it seems they're doing it right. With patience, with intelligence, with a plan. In football, there are unwritten rules, and one of them is this. Before you earn the crowd's applause, you must earn the locker room's respect. And for a 15-year-old, that might be harder than any dribble. Because in there, Instagram followers and headlines mean nothing. What matters is how you train, how you behave, and most of all, how you respond when the match gets tough. Max knows that. He got it from the first day he stepped into the first team dressing room. That's why he doesn't hide. He doesn't freeze. The shirt doesn't weigh on him. He runs. He offers himself. He listens. He adapts. And the veterans notice that. When a kid shows up not to flex, but to compete, the pros pay attention. And then something special happens. Respect. Advice. Quiet support from those who've seen it all. In training, Max has already had standout moments. Quick touches, line-breaking passes, composed control under pressure. Small things you won't see in a highlight reel, but that separate promise from professional. If he keeps this up, soon he won't be the kid training with the big boys. He'll just be one of them. And that's when the real journey begins. Because when a 15-year-old walks into the dressing room, asks for the ball, and calmly delivers it to Odegaard, that's where respect is born. And with it, a real career begins. Max Dowman was born in December 2009. Yes, when the South Africa World Cup still felt recent. He was just opening his eyes to the world. Today, at just 15, he trains with Arsenal's first team. He competes with adults. The veterans already look at him with respect. And if this continues, we'll see him debut in the Premier League very soon. But beyond the hype, beyond the talent, Max represents something deeper. The hope of a new generation. One that doesn't need to wait until 20 to shine. One that understands the game, respects the ball, and plays it simply, like only the gifted do. Max Dowman is not the future. He is the present, and if those around him do their job, If they protect him, guide him, support him, he could be the next big name in English football. Do you think Max Dowman is ready to play Premier League football at 16? Would you like to see him debut this season under Arteta, or do you believe it's better to go slow and avoid another early burnout? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read and discuss your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, share it with a fellow Arsenal fan, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any story about football's future stars. Because if this generation is teaching us anything, it's that talent has no age. See you in the next video.